Welcome back to the channel where we hunt down the most interesting, significant, and sometimes surprisingly attainable classic metal hitting the market today. We have a genuine American icon on the radar right now, a vehicle that defines a genre and represents the absolute end of a massive automotive era. We are talking about the legendary Jeep Grand Wagoneer, specifically the highly coveted 1991 Final Edition. If you have been watching the classic SUV market explode over the last few years, you know that prices for pristine examples of these wood-clad giants have absolutely skyrocketed, sometimes smashing through the six-figure barrier for concourse-quality restorations. But today, we are looking at something perhaps more appealing to the enthusiast who actually wants to drive their investment: an honest, well-maintained Final Edition carrying a price tag that actually makes sense in today's heated climate. Before we dive into the specifics of this particular example, we need to contextualize why the 1991 model year is so critical. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer, built on the incredibly long-lived SJ platform, had been in production since the early 1960s. It survived different corporate owners, changing fuel regulations, and shifting consumer tastes to become the definitive luxury 4x4 of its time. By 1991, however, the writing was on the wall. Chrysler was preparing to launch the modern Grand Cherokee, and the old SJ Warhorse was finally being put out to pasture. To commemorate the end of this monumental run, Jeep slapped Final Edition badges on the dashboard of the 1991 models. These trucks are the ultimate expression of the classic Wagoneer form, benefiting from decades of refinement while retaining that vintage rugged charm that no modern SUV can replicate. They are the last of the true Woodies, and collectors know it. The vehicle currently up for grabs is located in Jacksonville, Florida, and it presents itself not as a trailer queen that you would be terrified to take out of the garage, but as a highly usable driver-quality classic. It is finished in a handsome spinnaker blue metallic, a color that contrasts beautifully with the defining feature of this model, the faux wood grain siding surrounded by bright trim. Based on the listing, the exterior is in impressive condition for a vehicle that has seen real-world use.
The paint retains a good shine. The chrome bumpers are straight, and those iconic 15-inch multi-spoke alloy wheels really complete the look. There are imperfections, of course, as one would expect from a 30-plus-year-old vehicle, with about 145,000 miles on the clock. But these minor flaws only attest to its history as a beloved machine, rather than a neglected project. It even retains its factory roof rack and fog lights, adding to that ready-for-adventure aesthetic. Moving to the interior, you are immediately transported back to the peak of early 90s domestic luxury. The cabin features a blend of tan leather and fabric upholstery, accented by plenty of wood grain trim that echoes the exterior. The Grand Wagoneer was famous for being loaded with features, and this Final Edition is no exception. It comes equipped with power-operated front seats, power windows, power door locks, and power-adjustable side mirrors. Creature comforts include air conditioning, cruise control for those long highway drives, and a tilt steering column. Delightfully, it still retains its original AM/FM cassette stereo, perfect for playing period-correct tunes. While the interior is largely intact and looks inviting, it is not perfect. The seller notes that the headliner is sagging and will eventually need attention, a very common issue for vehicles of this vintage. Under that massive hood lies the heart of the beast, the venerable 5.9-liter, 360-cubic-inch AMC V8 engine. Now, nobody buys a Grand Wagoneer for blistering acceleration. In its day, this engine was rated at around 144 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. It is an engine designed for lazy, low-end grunt, perfect for cruising or towing a vintage Airstream. Power is sent to the wheels through a 3-speed automatic transmission and a dual-range transfer case, ensuring that this luxury wagon still possesses genuine Jeep off-road capability should you need it. This particular example benefits from a MagnaFlow muffler, which likely frees up a tiny bit of power, but more importantly, probably gives that old V8 a wonderful throaty rumble. So, what is the bottom line on this Woodie alert? The dealership in Florida is asking $32,900. When you consider that top-tier examples are selling for double or even triple that amount, this price point represents a very interesting entry into Grand Wagoneer ownership. It comes with a clean Carfax, a clean title, owner's manual, and service records.
It is a Final Edition that you can drive to the hardware store on Saturday and take to a car show on Sunday without acute anxiety about rock chips. It's a piece of history that is meant to be enjoyed on the road, standing as a testament to a time when SUVs were rugged, unapologetically American, and wore their wood grain with pride.